Alright, our last and final nutrient cycle is the phosphate cycle. Now, the phosphate cycle is essential to all living organisms because it's a critical component to the formation of DNA and RNA, which we all know are the building blocks of life, as long as cells, because cells are made up with genetic material. However, unlike the oxygen and the nitrogen cycle and the carbon cycle, phosphate isn't found in the atmosphere. It's generally found in rocks. It's generally found in on land. Now, there are 3 different ways phosphate is used. The first is taken up by marine life, and it dissolves phosphate. Now, this is similar to the process in the carbon cycle, where the marine sediment goes down and is absorbed into the rock or the geological. The same marine sediment goes into the sedimentary rock. This then, through geological upheaval, is moved back up into the phosphate rocks. Now, you're thinking, what is geological upheaval? This is just the movement of rocks up through the process of erosion and things like that. Now, the next way that phosphate is introduced into the environment is through it being absorbed into inorganic phosphate. This is then taken up by producers and is incorporated into animals through producers. So this should be a familiar cycle from producers to consumers. Producers use it first, and then the consumers use either the modified version of it or a similar version of it. Then the consumers through waste and decomposition, so again, this should sound really familiar, put inorganic phosphate back into the soil, and this goes back up into geological upheaval. Now, the last and final way that phosphate is introduced into the environment is phosphate is used through humans. Now, this isn't depicted here, but phosphate is used when humans mine the rock. When humans take up phosphorus and is mined, and it's turned into fertilizer, just very similar to how the nitrogen cycle is used, which goes into the soil, also is used and goes into as runoff, and also goes back into the soil because when it's turned into fertilizer, it goes into the soil and is either gone through runoff or goes back through the geological process. Now, we just went over the 4 cycles. We went over water and nitrogen and phosphate and carbon. These are extremely important cycles. Ecosystems cannot survive without them. So tomorrow in class, we're going to dive a little deeper into them, make sure we really understand the process. But feel free to rewatch any videos you need to be clarified with, and if you have any questions, come with them ready tomorrow. Thank you.